Whenever you're ready.
Welcome to the 2020 Fall Sports Awards. Like everything else in 2020, this looks a little different, but it doesn't change the fact of what we're here for. And that's to honor you, the student athlete, for all of your hard work, your dedication to make Viking athletics great.
Hi, I'm Coach Mo, the head football coach at Tippecanoe Valley High School. I'd like to here today to talk a little bit about the wrap-up of our season. This season we were 7-4. We had the second 7-winning season compared to 2006 and 2007 is the last time we've had two over 7 wins in a row. We ended up scoring quite a bit this year, ended up 5th all-time total points scored in Valley history for the history of the school. We had 356 points, which averages 32.4 points per game. 4th all-time points scored averaged in school history. So that's pretty impressive for an offensive unit. And a lot of that was due to our senior class. Our senior class set a foundation for all the schools or all of our kids in classes to move forward. We have a great list of seniors and their leadership guided us through the season. We also had 2nd all-time points scored in the TRC in school history as well. Third year in a row that we've won the Bell, and this is the 3rd winning season in a row for these seniors. Most points scored in a playoff game since 1978 with the score against South Bend, Washington. And it's a 3rd year in a row for these seniors that they've won a playoff game, first round of the playoff game. This season was a very good season. We did a good job, I believe, of coming together as a team, growing on and off the field for both. As we go through, I'd like to announce our award winners. The TRC nominations that were done the other day, those will be announced at a later date. We have to wait to announce those until the last TRC is done with the sectional or tournament, how far ever they get. So for the captains this year, for 2020, are Quentin Aldridge, Johnny Gonzalez, Ben Bowser, and Jacob Davis. Most valuable running back. I do want to say something about the captains. Overall, every one of the seniors got a vote, and some of the juniors. This was a pretty tight race when it comes to captains, and that shows what kind of leadership we had for that senior group. Most valuable running back was Jamison Virgil. He had over 859 yards on 106 carries, which is averaging 8.1 yards per carry, which is pretty impressive. Most valuable offensive lineman, we always give out 2. Most valuable offensive lineman goes to DJ Estep and Wade Melanson. Both of them contributing to a very successful offensive line this season. Again, when the offensive line voting, it came down to every one of them got a vote, and that's pretty impressive. We'd have averaged 233 yards per game rushing and over 101 yards passing. Most valuable wide receiver was Rex Kirkenstein. 471 yards on 19 receptions, averaging 24.5 yards per catch, and 5 TDs as well. And he ended up 5th total in TRC for most yardage. Most valuable defensive back goes to Hunter Ehrman. 4 INTs in only 8 games. That's pretty impressive, and he's a very good junior. The future looks bright for Hunter as well. Most valuable defensive lineman was David Baker. David came out this year and had his motor running. He did a good job right off the bat by setting the edge and being able to contain. Most valuable linebacker is Johnny Gonzalez for the 2nd year in a row. Johnny last year was AP Honorable Mention All-State. He's 15th all-time tackle points, and once again, Johnny is our leading tackler on the team. Most valuable specialist is Wade Jones. As a freshman, he came in and punted the ball phenomenal. And then the most valuable player is Jamison Virgil. Jamison had over 1,261 total yards with 76 total points leading the team. All of these awards are voted on by the players. players only. Now, these are the coaches' awards that we give out. Most improved, Joey Cisneros. Joey had a good job of filling in at running back this year. We moved him from fullback to tailback, and he is much improved. From day one to the end of the practice, you could see that his guidance and the team and his leadership and his hard work was starting to pay off. Ironman. So the Ironman award is given to each grade level, and not just on the weight room, but in practice, scout team, who we think gives the full effort. And for the freshmen this year, the Ironman award goes to Dalton Albert, who started out on JV and worked his way up to varsity and starting fullback at the end of the year. Dalton has a very bright future and a motor that won't quit. Sophomores is Carl Parker. Carl Parker, same way, in the weight room, working outside, baling hay, still coming to weights, made it to every summer thing. Then at the same time, right, worked his way from JV to the starting outside linebacker by the end of the year. Juniors, Branson McBriar. McBriar's off-season work showed up on the field this season. Coming in as a starting quarterback, he had a lot of obstacles to overcome of making sure to understand where the defense is coming from, and he worked very diligently in the off-season to overcome that, and it showed on the game. Senior will be Lucas Goebel. Lucas has been with the program forever, since Pee Wee football all the way through, and his hard work showed off as he got able to come and become a starter during the season. Booster Club Award winner goes to Brant Albert. Brant Albert is a young man that never complains, digs in, does what he's asked, and he has that spirit that the Vikings should have. The Viking Warrior Award is given out by the coaches, and what it shows is relentlessness, like the overwillingness to sacrifice for Death Valley football, and that one goes to Quentin Aldridge. Scott Teal Mental Attitude Award is showing a positive attitude throughout the whole season, being a good leader, and that goes to Ben Bowser. So I'd like to turn it over now to Coach Josh Durf and Rick Shepard to talk about the JV season real quick. Thank you.
So I guess first off, just going through the things, I want to thank parents. We ask a lot, takes a lot. All of us coaches got kids that know what all it takes. I want to thank the other coaches too, because I know on Monday nights it's Coach Shepard and I are out there coaching, but it's the work with all the other coaches through the week that ends up showing up out on the field Monday night. It was a good season, 5-2. Got to play some pretty good teams, pretty big teams. Probably honestly, for my part, this was probably one of my better JV seasons ever coaching. Having the way it progressed through, first off going 5-2 is nice, but getting to run the whole gamut of having kids graduate and move on, getting to play Friday nights, getting to play like Fort Wayne Carroll. It was a great example of kids getting to see some big time competition, and Carroll was 6A, 4th in the state at the time. So getting to stand out there and go toe to toe with teams like that, I think, and the sake of growth, this was the best year I've been part of. I'd like to think probably our highlight of the year was playing Carroll, even though we lost, getting to go out just after halftime, and we went power eye all the way down the field, and getting to watch those boys go out there and go toe to toe with somebody we on the normal day don't have business playing against, and just jam it down their throats and go down and score. And I hope for all the players, watching get to really hold on to that moment and kind of see what you're capable of doing when you have that determination and focus. Coach
Durf says. We had a really strong JV team comprised of freshmen and sophomores. We had no juniors playing this year. Did end up 5-2. Last game of the season, we had several young men that moved up. As Coach Mo mentioned, Dalton Albert, Carl Parker, Wade Jones, we lost at the beginning of the season as a freshman, moved him up to varsity. But some of those guys that we worked with all year that at the JV level, that worked their way up into starting positions at the varsity level, which is tough on us to fill those spots, but makes us feel pretty good at the JV level also.
So I hope you enjoy these awards. A special thanks to Mr. Kindig's radio and television class for putting these together, and go Vikings.